What did you talk about with Luca this morning?
He told me about all the benefits the EU offers to us as citizens. Did you know, for example, that I can do a youth exchange and later volunteering in another European country? And the EU will cover the cost.
Yes, the EU offers many great opportunities, but do you know why it was originally founded?
It was founded to create peace between European countries, right?
Exactly. Woo, you know so much already. This is one fundamental value of the EU, but there are many more. Another value of the EU is freedom. You know, I am a journalist. Well, my work is protected by the freedom of expression in the EU. It means that I can write about my opinion on many topics, and the government is not allowed to stop me. This freedom is actually written in the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union.
I have never heard about that charter. Where does it come from?
Wow, that's a big question. Let me try to answer. It comes from the European Convention on Human Rights. This treaty was signed in 1950 by 47 European countries. The rights and standards that were written in that convention were later adopted into the Charter of Fundamental Rights, which is binding for all member states of the EU. That means that every EU citizen now has these rights, and the EU member states have to respect them at all times. So, this was a little expedition into the past. Now, I want to tell you more about all the freedoms we have in the EU. Freedom does not only mean freedom of expression, but also freedom to protest, freedom of thought, freedom of movement, and many other things.
Oh, I didn't know that the EU is so active in protecting all of these freedoms. That's really good. Look at that poster, Mom. Who is that person?
I think this person is a politician. He or she is asking us to vote for him or her in the next election. Voting is important in a democracy, but democracy is so much more. In the EU, every citizen over 18 has the rights to be a candidate at European, national or local elections. Democracy is also about participation. You can protest for topics you care about or write petitions. Another part of democracy is access to information and freedom of press.
Oh, so as a journalist, you're important for our democracy, right, Mum?
Yes. You can also contribute to democracy, Gaia. For example, by voting. Do you know that for a long time, women weren't allowed to vote in any elections? Now, women have the same right to vote as men in all European countries. Equality doesn't stop here though. Discrimination based on gender, religion, age or other factors is forbidden in the EU. This means, for example, that your teachers are not allowed to give you a bad mark simply because of your gender or skin color. Because equality is another fundamental value of the EU, it does a lot to promote and protect equal rights.
Mom, did you see that? This man just got arrested. Do you think he did something bad?
I don't know, Gaia. But what I do know is that every person has the fundamental right to be treated with dignity, even a prisoner. This means the police have to show him respect, and they are not allowed to hit or insult him. Dignity is so important for the European countries that it is the first article of the Charter of Fundamental Rights that I told you about earlier.
It's good that everyone has to be treated with respect.
Yes, exactly. In addition, everyone needs to be treated equally in front of the law. The man who was arrested needs to be presumed innocent and he has the right to defend himself. These things and the fact that the courts are independent is called rule of law. It is also one of the fundamental values of the European Union. Wow, we really talked about a lot of topics today. Do you remember all the values that I told you about?
Yes, I think so. They were freedom, equality, democracy, dignity, and rule of law. Did I forget anything?
Yes, that's all of them. Very good, Gaia. In short, we can say that the EU was built on the values of peace and respect for human rights. This was even recognized by the Nobel Committee, which awarded the EU the Nobel Peace Prize in 2012. This is the theory, but of course, reality can be a bit more complicated. Okay, after discussing so many topics, I think our brains need some food. I will go inside and have some chocolate cake. What about you?